The previous learning targets this unit have been dealing with solving systems of equations using graphing and using substitution. This next learning target, which is our last learning target for this unit, is on solving systems of equations by elimination. What we mean by that is we combine the two equations in the system in a way that creates one equation that has only one variable. Then that way you can solve for that variable, stick it back into an equation to get the other variable that you're missing. So if we take a look at this first example, our first step is going to be to add the two equations together. I notice here that I have a negative 2y and a positive 2y. So if I add these two equations together, these are going to drop out because a negative plus a positive is 0. This gives me 7x, and 0 plus 14 is 14. Then I can divide by 7, solving for the variable that's left, which gives me x equals 2. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this solution here, I'm going to substitute it in to one of the original equations to solve for the other variable. Which equation you choose does not matter. I, therefore, am going to go ahead and put it in this one so then I don't have to worry about the 0. And then I see that I have 4x, which is 2, plus 2y equal to 14. 4 times 2 is 8, so I have 8 plus 2y equal to 14. Subtract 8 from both sides. Those cancel, giving me 2y equals 6. Divide by 2, which gives me y is equal to 3, which means that my ordered pair solution is 2, 3. And then our final step, obviously, as always, is going to be to check. I'm not going to write out my check here. I'm going to do a verbal check so we can see that it works. If I go into my first equation, 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus negative 6 is 0. And then 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. I do expect to see your checks written out both in your notes as well as in your assignments. Moving on to example B. I'm going to add these two equations together. And when I do that, 3x and negative 3x cancel. 4y plus 2y is 6y. Negative 4 plus 34 is positive 30. Dividing both sides by 6, I get y is equal to 5. I'm now going to put that into my first equation. Like I said, if you want to put it in the second one, go right ahead. That gives me negative 3x plus 4 times y, which is 5, equal to negative 4. So now I have negative 3x plus 20 equal to negative 4. Subtract 20 from both sides, canceling the 20s, giving me negative 3x equal to negative 4 plus negative 20 is negative 24. Divide both sides by negative 3. Don't forget that 3 and a negative, and if you tend to forget negatives, probably should have gone with the second equation. Giving me x is equal to positive 8, which means my ordered pair solution is 8, 5. And you can go ahead and plug those back in. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. 4 times 5 is 20. Negative 24 plus 20 is negative 4. And 3 times 8 is 24. 2 times 5 is 10. 24 plus 10 does in fact equal 34. So we know that it is correct.